Courtney Lawes. England captain calls for those directing racism at Luther Burrell to be exposed. Luther Burrell, who won 15 caps for England, says racism is rife in rugby. Courtney Lawes admits issue needs to be addressed at clubs involved. Watch. England's tour of Australia live this month on Sky Sports Action. England captain Courtney Lawes believes that anyone found to have been the source of the racism directed at Luther Burrell should be publicly exposed. Burrell revealed in a newspaper interview with the Mail on Sunday that he had been racially abused by teammates, including receiving comments about bananas, fried chicken and slavery. Newcastle, his most recent club, are investigating to determine whether the incidents outlined by the former England centre took place during his 2 years at Kingston Park, while the Rugby Football Union and Premiership Rugby have apologised. How to watch England's tour of Australia on Sky Sports. Lawes captaincy surprise. Weekend talking points. Lawes is friends with Burrell. The pair have been teammates at Northampton and with England, and while he has not encountered racism in the same way, he insists it must be rooted out wherever it surfaces. I had a problem with him saying that racism is rife in rugby, said Lawes on the eve of Saturday's first test against Australia in Perth. If I am honest, that's not been my experience. But if that kind of stuff is going on in certain clubs, it needs to be addressed. I read the article and I was shocked about the stuff that's been said to Luther, because at most clubs, knowing the boys from different clubs who come into the England camp, it just wouldn't be accepted. It's not even a joke, it's way beyond that. I am feeling for him and I am not sure what's going on up there, but it's absolutely not acceptable. I agree with Ellis Genge. I think the person or people who are doing that need to be outed, because it's just not acceptable in our game. We need to squash this. We need to find out what is happening and if it's happening at any other clubs. We need to get it sorted. We want rugby to be the best version of rugby it can be. We don't want things like that going on in the game. That's why I was surprised that at any club, any color of player would accept that kind of behavior. It's tough because Luther's a close friend of mine, but I was disappointed that he didn't call it out at the time. Being the player he is, 35 and a senior guy, he should have been addressing that, but he knows that. But I feel for him, so I'll send him a message and see what's up to. Burrell's revelations have shone a light on racism in rugby, but in Lawes' eyes the sport has another issue that must also be tackled. The class thing is the main thing. We've got loads of private school lads at Saints and, to be honest, I take the P** out of them far more than they would the other way round. The Lock said, it's just about getting the opportunities for kids from working class backgrounds. If I hadn't gone to Northampton school for boys, I'd have never played rugby. So I got lucky, and it's probably the same for Ellis Genge and a few other boys who come from backgrounds which are not full of wealth. It's about making the game accessible for everyone, and if you do that, you will see lots of different kinds of people and different colors of people playing the game. That will be better for rugby as a whole and for society in general, because we're all people. We all bleed the same. A lot of the time, you actually have quite a lot in common with people from different backgrounds. England enter Saturday's series opener against the Wallabies as underdogs to secure a 9th successive victory in the fixture, with coverage live on Sky Sports Action from 10:15 a.m. on Saturday ahead of a 10:55 a.m. kickoff. England 15 to face Australia in Perth. 15 Freddie Stewart, 14 Jack Nowell, 13 Joe Marchant, 12 Owen Farrell, 11 Joe Kokonasiga, 10 Marcus Smith, 9 Danny Kerr, 1 Ellis Genge, 2 Jamie George, 3 Will Stewart, 4 Maro Itoje, 5 Johnny Hill, 6 Courtney Lawes, 7 Tom Curry, 8 Billy Vunipola. Replacements: 16 Luke Cowan-Dickey, 17 Mako Vunipola, 18 Joe Hayes, 19 Ollie Chesham, 20 Lewis Ludlam, 21 Jack Van Poortvliet, 22 Guy Porter, 23 Henry. Bumper July of rugby on Sky Sports. As well as showing England and Australia this summer, Sky Sports will show Ireland's 5-match tour of New Zealand, Wales' 3-test tour of South Africa and Scotland's 3-test tour of Argentina. Wednesday, June 29th. Maori All Blacks vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 8 a.m. Kickoff is at 8:05 a.m. Saturday, July 2nd. New Zealand vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 a.m. Kickoff at 8:05 a.m. Australia vs England, live on Sky Sports Action from 10:15 a.m. Kickoff at 10:55 a.m. South Africa vs Wales, live on Sky Sports Action from 3:30 p.m. Kickoff at 4:05 p.m. Argentina vs Scotland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 p.m. Kickoff at 8:10 p.m. Saturday, July 9th. New Zealand vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 a.m. Kickoff at 8:05 a.m. Australia vs England, live on Sky Sports Action from 10:15 a.m. Kickoff at 10:55 a.m. South Africa vs Wales, live on Sky Sports Action from 3:30 p.m. Kickoff at 4:05 p.m. Argentina vs Scotland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 p.m. Kickoff at 8:10 p.m. Tuesday, July 12th. Maori All Blacks vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 8 a.m. Kickoff is at 8:05 a.m. Saturday, July 16th. New Zealand vs Ireland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 a.m. Kickoff at 8:05 a.m. Australia vs England, live on Sky Sports Action from 10:15 a.m. Kickoff at 10:55 a.m. South Africa vs Wales, live on Sky Sports Action from 3:30 p.m. Kickoff at 4:05 p.m. Argentina vs Scotland, live on Sky Sports Action from 7:30 p.m. Kickoff at 8:10 p.m.